Welcome to the worst possible commander show. It's me, it's CGG. Or Covertgoblue, and I'm here with my friends, CGB.
Hi.
And Ben.
Hello.
And Shea.
Hello.
Our show is brought to you by Cool Stuff Inc. If you go to their website, you can get 5% off your purchase with the promo code WORST at checkout, which is pretty cool. And here at the Worst Possible Commander Show, we like to talk about the worst possible things our decks can do as our Rule Zero. So I'm going to start because I'm hosting.
Yeah.
And my commander is Sarkhan, Soul of Flame, a human shaman. And whenever I cast a dragon, Sarkhan turns into a copy of the dragon for that turn, which is really cool. And all my dragons cost 1 less to play. And the worst possible thing I can do is combine Cursed Mirror with Astral Dragon and make infinite dragons.
Ba-bow.
So many.
Wow.
So many.
Wow.
I'm really excited about it. CGB, what does your deck do?
Hi, it's me, it's CGB, and this week I'm playing Rocco, the Street Chef. This is a Naya commander, and it's kind of group huggy, but don't call it a group hug. I'm gonna let everybody exile the top card of their library, and they may play it until their next turn, but anytime you guys play a card from exile, I can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and I make a food token. So the worst thing I can do with all of those beautiful food tokens and +1/+1 counters is cast a card like Nettle Cyst, which gives my equipped creature +1/+1 for each artifact I control, so I can make creatures like my commander really huge. And then I can play a card like Chandra's Ignition that just blows all of you up with all that food. So it's a little Voltron-y and a little group huggy, but don't, it's not that nice. Don't think it's a nice thing I'm doing for you, but do enjoy the food.
So is it like a sinister group huggy? Like you're hugging us, but as you're
With
about
spikes?
to, you're gonna stab us in the back?
I said don't call it a group hug, Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez.
Just enjoy the food.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just enjoy the food, guys. It's fine. This is fine. Ben, what are you playing?
Sea Creatures Tribal, guys. Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. Vigilance, Ward 3. Whenever I cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from my hand, I look at the top X cards of my library, where X is that spell's mana value. I may cast a spell with mana value less than X, which is the previous card's mana value, from among them without paying its mana cost, and I put the rest at the bottom of my library in a random order. So I'm kind of doing a Shea shuffle here, and just playing all my Krakens, Leviathan, Serpents, and Octopuses.
Look at that
Octopi.
mana curve.
Yeah.
I see 7s and 10s. I see 9s and 8s. Good Lord.
Wow.
Lots of them.
Yeah, Serpentine Cascade.
Hey, there's a 3 there.
Wow.
You know that's the Nadir Kraken.
course.
That's how you know.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Cool. I love it, Ben.
Shea, how about you?
Yes. So today I am playing Sigarda, Font of Blessings as my commander. It is a 4/4 angel with flying, and it says other permanents you control have hexproof. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. So the deck is kind of built like angels and humans good stuff with some nice synergy. And so for my worst possible, I've got Champion of Lambolt, a human warrior. It's a 1/1. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lambolt's power can't block creatures you control, and then it gets a +1/+1 counter whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control. So the idea is to play lots of my angels and human creatures to make the Champion of Lambolt very big, and then I can play one of my favorites, Triumph of the Hordes, and swing out and kill everybody with a bunch of infect damage.
Play lots of creatures, attack and kill us. Just another take on how Shea can put together an army and bash us to bits.
Yes, exactly.
So
You get me.
Did you retire Craterhoof then? You found an easier way to do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit, creative.
It's not an angel, it's not a human,
Yeah,
Ben.
that's fair. Oh yeah, that's a human, isn't it?
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
We're
Fair
fitting
enough.
within a theme. We're getting a
Unblockable
little-
instead of trample. I
Exactly.
see. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here I was thinking I had an edge with my dragons, but we're going to be battling in the skies.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm just supplying the food. You'll have fun.
All right. Magic and snacks coming soon. Let's
dive in and let the nonsense begin.
I won the die roll, so I get to start. So draw, and I will play a mountain and pass.
Draw. Jetmir's Garden tapped. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay. I'll draw for turn. Play a forest. I'll tap that forest for Lanamore elves. Your turn.
Somebody had to ramp.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
I will draw. And I'll play Bountiful Promenade. Does not enter tapped. Pass to you, Gina.
Draw. I will play Shivan Reef, and I will tap 2 for Felwar Stone. There it is. And I will pass.
All right, untap, draw. I have a 2-mana artifact play. Are you ready?
Oh, man.
I'm going to play an Exotic Orchard. I'm going to cast Swiftfoot Boots. Yep, I got my booties. Your turn, Ben.
I'll untap for turn, draw a card, play a Steve, Sakura Tribe Elder, and I'll play a Dreamroot Cascade tapped because I do not control 2 or more other land. And I will pass to you, Shea.
Okie doke. Draw. Ooh. Plains. I'm going to pay 2 for a Talisman of Unity. Then I'll pass to you, Gina.
All right. Untap. Draw. I'm going to play a mountain, and then I'm going to tap 3 for my commander, Sarkhan, Soul of Flame. And I'll pass.
I don't know why it has the
A flame.
Untap, draw. All right, I'm going to play Sunpetal Grove. I'm just going to pass the turn to Ben.
At your end step, I'm going to sacrifice Steve for the greater good and get an island. Got an island from Steve, and there's a battlefield tap, and I'll go to my turn.
He died for that island.
He did, yes. Untap, draw for turn. I'll cast a 3 visits. Got a tropical island, you know, just casual. Goes on the field untapped. Then I'm gonna be a real jerk, guys.
I knew it!
Blake would be so disappointed in me. I'll play a Ristic Study.
Ristic
Oh,
Study?
my goodness.
Responses? Well, I'm gonna be a jerk too.
Oh.
You thought you were safe because I wasn't playing blue. Tybalt's Trickery. Target your Ristic Study.
Man, okay.
So counter that, but we have to choose a number 1, 2, or 3 at random. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the die. And the number is 2. So you have to mill 2 cards. And then...
Reliquary Tower, Forest.
All right. Now you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with a different name, and you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So it could be a Kraken.
Ooh.
Seedborn Muse.
No!
I mean, that's fine. I'll take that.
Oh, okay. I mean, that still is, guys, I think it's better than Aristics. I think it's better for us than Aristic Study.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Ben.
That was some trickery.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I get to untype my lands on your upkeep, or on your untap, baby Shay. Go ahead.
Okay, I will untap.
I will as well.
Yes. Draw. Okay. Plains. Then I shall tap for Sigarda, Font of Blessings. Now, other permanents I control have hexproof, and I can look at the top card of my library anytime and cast Angels and Humans from the top. All right, I'll pass to you, Gina.
At your end step, Shay,
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I'm going to tap 3 lands and play a Joint Exploration Kicked. Scry 2, then draw a card. I may play an additional land this turn. I'll put them back both on top, then draw the card, one of the cards I left on top. And I may play an additional land I will play a Hinterland Harbor.
To be clear, it says you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. If it just said play an additional land, he couldn't do that because it's Shea's turn, but it says put it from hand to battlefield.
Yes, my bad. Resume, Shea.
Yes, thank you, Ben. You can go ahead, Gina.
Wow, that card's really annoying, huh?
Okay, I'll untap with you. Isn't this fun?
I'm getting triggered. Draw?
It's not by me.
It's better than the Ristic study, though, right, guys?
A little.
Ben!
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. I have a Seedborn Muse.
I'm going to tap 2 for reality shift to your Seedborn Muse, because it's bothering me.
Okay.
So that would be exiled if it goes through, and then you could manifest the top card of your library. That sounds fun. Could be anything.
It does sound a little
Last
fun.
time it was a Ristic study that became a Seedborn Muse.
Well, it's going to start out as a 2/2 creature, whatever it is.
Does that resolve, Ben?
Yeah, that resolves. All right, Seedborn got exiled, and I manifest this card.
Yep. If it's a creature, you can pay its cost at some point to flip it.
I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to try to hit CGB for 2.
Yeah, that's what I get for trying to help the table with my Tybalt's trickery.
You're
I'll take
open. It's fine.
2 commander damage.
And I pass.
At your end step, Gina, I'm gonna tap 1 forest and do a Noxious Revival targeting my Ristic study.
No!
Serious right now.
Because I don't want to ramp more, and that's all else is what's in my graveyard is ramp cards.
Why are you such a problem, Ben?
I don't know. I got a Seedborn Muse when I had a lot of instances in my hand. So it was great.
Anything
So does that
else?
resolve?
It resolves for me.
Okay. Top. It has been put.
Wow.
Untap, draw, and Taiga for my land. I think it's time to cook. So here comes Rocco, Street Chef. And if that resolves, I will equip the Swiftfoot boots to Rocco. I could punch you back for being punchy with me for some reason, but I think I'm just gonna stay home and chill because I'm a nice, just street chef with my food truck trying to hook you guys up with things so you don't need to be punching me. And let's go to my end step. Let's use Rocco's ability. Each of us will exile the top card of our library, but you may cast it. If you guys cast a card from exile or play a land from exile, and you can play lands if you hit them, I will get a +1/+1 counter and a food token. So I exile Pia Nalar.
I exiled Ristic Study, as you all know.
Dragon's Fire.
I exiled Akroma, Angel of Wrath.
Ooh.
That's
Rough.
very expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can stay right there. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay. I'll untap.
Oh, quick note, you guys only have until my next end step to play the cards exiled with Rocco.
Okay, you guys saw it coming. I'm playing Ristic Study from exile.
Are you sure? I'm gonna get a food.
Have your food. Share it with me, in fact.
Nope, this is my food.
No? Okay, fine.
Nope. Ristic Study players don't eat. That is just
You don't
the way
eat
of
together?
It. Nope. Also, +1/+1 counter goes on Rocco.
You know what, Gina? Since you manifested this creature for me, it's gonna smile back at you and hit you for 2.
Oh, at least it's friendly.
Yeah. Your turn, Shea.
All right. I'll untap. Plains is my land return. Paying 5 for Karametra, God of Harvests.
Ristic Study.
I can't pay.
Yay! Thanks.
But that's a good one. Whenever you cast a creature, you get to ramp. Is that right?
Yes. So whenever I cast a creature spell, I can search my library for a forest or a plains and put it onto the battlefield tapped. And it's indestructible, and my devotion to green and white is less than 7, so it's not a creature right now. All right, I'm gonna move to combat. Ben, you have proven to be a menace this game.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna swing at you for 4 in the air.
4 in the air?
Yeah.
My Landmore elves can't reach you, so I'm gonna take 4 damage, going down to 36.
And that is commander damage. Pass to you, Gina.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Well, this seems fun. I'm going to tap everything for a Wrathful Red Dragon. So Sarkhan is now a wrathful red dragon for the rest of this turn, and whenever a dragon I control is dealt damage, it'll deal that much damage to a target that's not a dragon.
That sounds fun, but you can't pay for Rhystic, can you?
I cannot, unfortunately.
Yes.
Sarkhan, the wrathful red dragon, swings at you for 5 in the air, Ben.
In the air again. My Lanimore elves needs reach. 5, you said?
5.
Hey, down to 31. And another 5 commander from a different player. Awesome, I'm loving this.
There might be even more coming for you.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Wow.
And I pass.
All right, untap. Part of me says I shouldn't do this because I'm really enjoying Ben taking a beating for having the Rhystic study, but I'm feeling charitable, so I'm going to cast Lauren of the Third Path without paying for Rhystic, and I'm going to destroy the Rhystic study.
Okay, I drew a card from you not paying.
That's right. And you can, this is still on the stack if you can counter it or do something about it.
Ben playing counters. It will be destroyed.
Now, Ben, I strongly recommend you don't bring it back, or you might get punched again.
Yeah.
I still need to draw cards though, which is unfortunate.
How many do you have?
I have 6, but none of them. Never mind. I won't say that.
Yeah.
No
just,
spoiling.
all right, I'm going to play a Spire Garden, and I'm going to pay 2 for the Pia. Council of Revival. This is a 2/3 that says Thopters I control have haste. Whenever I play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, I create a 1/1 colorless Thopter. That won't trigger this time because I had to cast her from exile, but I do get a food and a +1/+1 counter, which let's put that on Lauren of the Third Path. Now a 3/2 Vigilance. All right, Shea, I'm going to attack you with Rocco, the street chef. I think I've done enough to Ben for today.
Okay, and what's the power toughness?
That's going to be 3 commander damage.
3 commander damage, no blocks.
All right, Ben, go ahead.
At your end step, I think I've had enough of your booties.
My booties?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna beast within your Swiftfoot boots.
Oh, man. Okay.
You get a beastie though. You traded your booties for a beastie.
That sounds fun. So, Swiftfoot Boots destroyed. Beast token here. There is a Rocco trigger on end step. So, if you guys did not play the exiled card from last time, it is now permanently exiled. So, yeah, turn it sideways or something like that. And now exile a new top of your library card. I got a Bloom Tender.
I got a Erixmathes Slumbering Isle.
I got a forest.
A sprite dragon.
Those are cute. All right,
Adorable.
go ahead, Ben.
Okay, I'll untap. I am going to play a Flooded Grove for turn. And I really like that island, meaning Erixmathes. So I'm going to play him from exile.
I don't know if we've had this one on the show before. What all is this?
Yeah, so this is Erixmathes Slumbering Isle. He enters a battlefield with 5 slumber counters.
5 slumber
Five
counters.
slumber
There you go.
Sleepy.
And as long as he has a slumber counter on it, it's a land, not a creature.
Oh,
Whenever you cast a spell, you may remove a slumber counter from Erixmathes, and he taps for Simic.
all right. And you cast him from exile, so that will trigger Rocco. So I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on my Pia Nalar, Council of Revival, and I will make a food.
2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll cast Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. Shea, I think you need some happy, smiley love from my manifested token. Take 2.
Yeah, no blocks. I'll take 2.
Now it is your turn.
Okay. Untap.
Oh, I did cast a spell.
That's right. You remove a counter.
I remove a slumber counter down to 4.
Ha ha ha. All right, I know you want me to play the forest.
It's just a little food token, a little +1/+1.
Looks like you kind of need it too.
Well, I think I'll be okay.
What if I put the +1/+1 counter on your angel? Just don't attack me with it this turn,
Mr.
and it can have a +1/+1 counter, and I'll get the food.
Mr. Politics over here.
I know.
You get a counter, you get a counter, you get a...
As much as I love making deals, I think I'm gonna be okay. I don't need the forest.
Okay, you don't come back to me when you're like, I need 1 mana 5 turns from now to win the game. It's fine.
We'll see.
Fine.
We'll see.
Get
All right.
Rejected.
I'm gonna play a Plains as my land for turn. Then I'm gonna pay 6 for a Steel Seraph.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a 5/4 flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. I cast a creature spell, so that's going to trigger my Karametra, which means I can go look for a forest or plains and put it on the battlefield.
Yep, go for it.
Awesome. So I grabbed a Canopy Vista. I will move to combat. All right, so on combat, I have a Steel Seraph trigger. So I'm going to target Sigarda with that, and let's go ahead and give it Vigilance.
Good commander ability for sure.
All right, and then I'm going to send Sigarda to CGB. 4/4 flying Vigilance.
Could have been for 5, but okay, I'll take it. I will take 4 commander, going to 34.
All right, I think that's all my things. Pass to you, Gina.
Untap. All right, I'm going to pay 1 for Soul Ring, and then I'm going to pay 3 for Galazeth Prismari, an Elder Dragon, and when it enters the battlefield, I get to create a treasure token. Uh-huh. And artifacts I control have the ability to tap and add 1 mana of any color, only to cast an instant or sorcery.
Are you going to turn Sarkhan into a Galazeth Prismari this turn?
You know, that sounds fun. Yeah. Sarkhan is now Galazeth Prismari. I'm going to send Sarkhan as the Galazeth Prismari at Ben and the Wrathful Red Dragon at CGB.
Oh my goodness. Not having flyers in this game is turning out to be a problem. I have no blocks. How about you, Ben?
I'll be taking 3.
Okay, I will take 5, going to 29.
I'll take 3, going to 28.
And those are commander.
Ah, yes. Up to 8 commander.
And I will pass the turn.
All right, untap. All right, tap in 3. We are going to target Ben with a Jeska's Will. So you have 5 cards in hand?
Indeed.
All right, and I get to exile my top 3, and I can play them this turn and make 5 red mana. So that'll be my 5 red mana. And let's see the top 3. We've got Crozon Verge, Rockfall Vale, and a forest.
Wow.
And I needed a land. I didn't need 3 of them.
Yeah.
I will play the Rockfall Vale from exile. This is a land played from exile, so it triggers Rocco. So I'll put a +1/+1 counter on Lauren of the Third Path. And I will make a food token. And I will make a Thopter from Pia Nalar. So that's my land for turn, so I'm probably just leaving these in exile. All right, I'll tap this for a green and this one for a white and use 3 of the mana in the mana pool, going down to 2 red left, to cast Mirari's Wake. Creatures I control get +1/+1. When I tap a land for mana, it produces 2 mana instead.
This is bad.
I'm going to tap Jetmir's Garden for 2 green. So now I have 2 green in the mana pool. I'll use 1 green and 1 red. And I will cast the Sereth Seeker from my hand. This is a really fun one with my commander because whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I look at the top card of my library. If it's a land, I can put it into my hand, and if not, I can put the card in the graveyard. Then from exile, I will cast the Bloom Tender. And Bloom Tender triggers Rocco, which gives a +1/+1 counter to, why not, the Lauren of the Third Path, and creates a food token, which triggers the Steel Seeker. So I look at my top card. I will choose to put it into my graveyard, its Killer Service. And it also makes a Thopter, which will also trigger the Steel Seeker. So I'll look at my top card. I will choose to leave it on top of my library, but not reveal it. Lauren is a 5/4 Vigilance, and I feel like that should attack somebody. So, Shea. Attack you with Lauren. I'd attack you, but I don't like the Wrathful Red Dragon. It scares me.
No blocks. I'll take 5.
All right, move to my end step. If you had a card exiled before with Rocco, it's permanently exiled now. And you're gonna miss it. I just want you to know that. All right, let's exile new cards. I exiled Soul Ring.
I exiled Brianlin, the Moon Kraken.
What?
I exiled Aura Shards.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Cavern of Souls.
Okay, that's a land. Yeah, I'm scared of everything. Go ahead, Ben. Oh, Shea, actually, it's 1 more damage from Lauren because of Mirari's Wake.
Okay.
Okay, I'll play a Bark Channel Pathway for my land for turn. Tapping 6 for a mana reflection.
Oh God.
Thought I'd join you in the doubling the mana.
Oh my goodness.
And that will remove a slumber counter down to 3 off of Ricksmithies. Then I'll tap Lanamore Elves and a Ricksmithies, which taps for 4 now, and Lanamore Elves for 2, to play a Lurking Predators. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put that card on the bottom of your library.
Hello?
Hello.
Ricksmithies will go down to 2 slumber counters. You know, I'll just keep my threats on the board and just be peaceful right now. They're sleeping. It's, you know.
Are you passing the turn?
I am passing the turn to you, Shea.
Okay. That kind of sucks.
If you don't like your top card, you could be nice to me and I could, you know, let you draw and get a reroll.
What would you like in order to allow me to draw my top card?
Well, I really don't like being attacked. I really would prefer other people got attacked.
It's tough because you're threatening, but also...
It's the only way we kill them, really, in game, Shea. Just so you know.
This is a tough deal. I will not attack you for 1 turn, this turn, CGB, if you help me draw my top card.
I can definitely do that as soon as I have priority.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start by paying 3 to cast Aura Shards.
I don't like that.
Oh, I don't suppose I can also have a turn of Mirari's Wake before you kill it. Please?
That's a lot of power over there. I don't know for sure exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, okay, deal's still a deal. I'll tap Lauren. We can both draw a card.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, so I have a Lurking Predators trigger. I will reveal the top card of my library, and if it's a creature, I get to put it on the battlefield. Ooh, I do! Look at that. Hey guys, Seedborn Muse is back, but in the form of a horror. It's a Merkfiend Liege.
So
Awesome.
But it only untaps green and blue creatures you
Right.
control. Okay.
Not lands.
It also gives a bonus
To green and blue creatures.
and a double bonus to green and blue creatures.
All right, so next I'm going to use my commander's ability to cast an angel or a human from the top of my library.
Uh-oh.
It's Mirror Entity, which is a
Ooh.
changeling, so it's all the things.
Okay. That's a Lurking Predator trigger.
Yes, it is. God, I'm liking this card.
Yes.
A Pungify.
Well,
And I may put it at the bottom. I think I'll just keep it.
gonna keep a Pongify.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to, because I want more triggers on the Lurking Predator.
Oh, I don't know if you'll get more triggers off Lurking Predator. Does the Mirror Entity enter the battlefield? I suppose you also have a cast trigger from Karametra.
Yes, I do. So I can search for forest or plains.
Yep.
Okay, so I grabbed a forest. It's going to enter tapped on that Karametra trigger.
All right. Any responses to the Mirror Entity? Does it hit?
It hits for me.
Okay.
Sweet, so that means I have an Aura Shards trigger.
Yep. What's the target?
Oh, this is so tough. I'm going to target the Mirari's Wake.
Oh, come on.
There's always next time for me, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I am going to move to combat. And on combat, I have a Steel Seraph trigger. I think I'm going to give Sigarda Vigilance again. So I'm going to send Sigarda and the Steel Seraph to Ben.
Ooh. Well, I still don't have any flyers or reaches. So that's 4? Or
4
No.
plus 5.
Oh, 9.
Yeah.
Jeez.
9 in the air, 4 of its Shea commander.
Okay, I'll go down to 19 with all that damage and take 4 more commander.
Yep.
Going up to 8.
Woo! That's all.
No.
Your turn, Gina.
All right. Untap.
Not a creature yet, technically. So I only untap my Lanamore Elves.
I am going to cast Cavern of Souls from Exile, which gives you triggers, CGB.
Yay, I love triggers. I will use Rocco to put a +1/+1 counter on my Sarenth Steel Seeker. And I will make a food token, and that will trigger the Steel Seeker. And I will look at the top card of my library, and I'll choose to put it in the graveyard. It was a Beast Within.
What creature type are you choosing with your Cavern of Souls?
Oh, dragon.
Nice. I figured. I just wanted.
Dragons are friends. Shea, you think this is getting out of hand, right?
Those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think so.
I see how this is.
What are you talking about?
I haven't done this one before, so let's see if I can do it right. I'm going to be tapping 6. Oh, plus 1 more. 7 for overloading Cyclonic Rift.
See what you've done, Shea.
I have had enough.
My Ricksmithies was still slumbering though.
Yeah, it's a land, so it will be fine.
Oh, that's right. Awesome. Wow, that's nice.
That's what you're excited about?
Yeah, that it's still land and I can, it can be a 12/12 soon with no other creatures on the battlefield.
I have no responses to Cyclonic Rift. It's whatever.
I have no responses as well.
Me either.
Oh my god, it happened.
Pick 'em up,
I did a
guys.
Cyclonic Rift.
My mana
That's my
fest.
first one.
Oh, wait, we have a Lurking Predators trigger.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Yes,
Hold on. Reveal.
Exotic order.
You gonna put it on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. Now pick 'em up.
Well then, that worked really well. Since there's only one potential creature on the battlefield, you're the threat. So Ben,
What? No.
I'm attacking
now.
you
Hey
for
now.
10.
There are 2 other players that are
You're the one that has a creature coming.
That are 10 life above me. Okay.
I don't care.
How much?
I'm attacking you for 10.
For 10? So now they're 20 above me?
She's a bloodthirsty one.
Yeah,
She's a bloodthirsty
You're
one.
kind of unpredictable here, Gina. I don't like this.
And I pass.
Okay.
Wow.
Jeez.
I'll untap these lands and nothing else. Draw for turn. I'm going to tap 2 and I'm going to recast Pia Nalar, Consul of Revival. I'm going to tap 3 and I'm going to cast Rocco, Street Chef. Let's do it again. I'm going to cast the Soul Ring from Exile because it's still there hanging out, and I will make a food. And I will put a +1/+1 counter on Rocco, and I will make a Thopter token with Pia Nalar. I'm going to play Forbidden Orchard. Ben, I'll make a deal with you.
Yes.
I will hook you up with 1/1 spirits that sadly do not fly, as long as they don't attack me.
They would be better if they flew, but I will accept.
I wish they did. All right, I will create a spirit with the Forbidden Orchard, and I will tap Soul Ring, floating a mana for the Bloom Tender that you knew was in my hand. And then I'm just going to let the floating mana go. All right, so here is your spirit token.
Oh, thanks.
I will move to my end step, everybody. We're going to Rocco. Let it rock. I have exiled a Cinderglade.
Inkwell Leviathan.
I've exiled a Starheim Aspirant.
Mountain.
All right, Ben, your turn. Good luck.
I'll untap. Okay, recast that mana reflection.
Oh boy.
Tap. Ricksmithies will go down to 1 slumber counter now. Ooh, getting spooky, guys. Tap 6, floating a green, and I will cast Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep.
Yep.
And look at that. Slumber counter is off. He's a 12/12, but he is tapped. Unfortunately.
Here just in time.
Yeah. And with that last floating green, I will cast my Lanimore Elves.
Your spirit doesn't have summoning sickness.
Yes, I can't swing at Gina with a 12/12, but that 1/1's coming at you.
Okay.
Slowly but surely, I guess. Your turn, Shay.
Okay. Shall begin by paying 3 to cast the Starheim Aspirant.
I'll put a +1/+1 counter on Pia Nalar, and I will make a food. And you're welcome, Shay, for that.
Yeah, thanks. So angel spells are 2 less to cast, which means I'm just gonna pay 2 to cast Sigarda again, Font of Blessings. All right, and then I will also only pay 1 for Mirror Entity. Man, it's just so strange. Okay, I'm gonna pay 2 for Talisman of Unity. Now I'm gonna have to discard some things as I move to my end step. All right, discarding Steel Seraph and Karametra. Pass to you, Gina.
Untap. I'm going to tap 6 for Drakuzeth, Maw of Flames. Rah!
That's gracious.
Whenever it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to 2 other targets.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Sarkhan looks like Drakazeth. They're twinsies. I'm going to send Sarkhan the Drakazeth at Ben, the Wrathful Red Dragon at Shea, and Galazeth Prismari at CGB.
If you wanted to go for a deal, you should probably do it just before she attacks.
Hey, Gina, where's that damage from Sarkhan going because of the Drakazeth?
Well, do you have anything to offer me that would make it not go at your life total?
Wow, rough. I can get rid of a creature of someone's other than yours.
Really?
Just not right now.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if she's lacking removal.
What else you got?
So I can destroy a creature of someone else's on my turn, or at least when I have mana open. And I can also, not swing like my 12/12 at you, or all my creatures really.
Yeah, let's get specific.
Okay,
you
yeah,
have to
sure.
swing them at not me.
Right.
And you do have to swing them.
And I do have to swing.
You do have to swing them at not me.
So they're like pseudo-goaded, kind of.
Kinda.
Ben, I don't like you taking this deal, Ben. You
I like swinging. You know this. I love swinging creatures.
Ben and I bond over
I like
punching.
this.
No,
we like punching.
no.
Got a deal?
Oh god, we cannot put this chaotic energy together ever again.
I like this. You like swinging, I like swinging, we all like swinging.
Blake
except
would
them.
never take that deal.
No, he wouldn't. No.
So the extra Drakuzeth damage will not go at you in return for this deal.
I appreciate it and honor it.
So what are your targets?
The 4 damage target will be PNLR, and the 2 3 damage targets will be your 2 life totals.
For Pia, I really needed those Thopters.
Yeah.
And I will take 3 from the other Drakazeth trigger.
I'll also take 3.
Since I don't know if the Thopter will be around, I'm going to block Galazeth with my Thopter. Any block, Shay?
Yeah, no blocks, but I am going to do this before damage. I'm going to tap my Talisman for 1 white, taking 1 damage. I'm going to Path to Exile, targeting the Wrathful Red Dragon. So that will exile it, and you can go grab a basic land.
Any response, Gina?
I do not have a response then.
Okay, so your Wrathful Red Dragon will be exiled, and you can go get a basic.
Okay, I will play an island tapped.
Okay, well, you guys either blocked or did something, so I'm gonna just take the damage going down to 2.
And guess what? It's still commander damage.
Oh, wow. I'm up to 15 for that.
15 Gina commander dragon damage.
Wow.
My Thopter is dead.
I will pass.
All right. I do not like my chances. Let's untap. Let's draw. So Ben.
Yeah, what's up?
So you're going to swing, but not at her.
Right. I have to, in fact.
That's the deal with
It's
you.
a must, yes.
So why shouldn't I kill you right now?
I'll do minimum against you, or just none, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Turn order matters, Shay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, turn order does matter.
So I'm going to cast a Showdown of the Scalds. This is a saga that exiles the top 4 cards of my library, and I can play them until the end of my next turn. And then chapters 2 and 3 are whenever I cast a spell, I put a +1/+1 counter on a creature I control. So 1, Escape to the Wilds, Plains, Swords to Plowshares, Aerial Extortionist. Ooh, some things that do stuff.
Whoa.
All right, we'll definitely kick it off. We're gonna throw a Swords to Plowshares at Drakazeth. I'm trying to exile that and give you 7 life, Gina. And because I cast this from exile, I'll put a +1/+1 counter on Rocco and make a food token.
I do not have a response.
Yay! I will tap the blue tender for 3 mana, and I'll use Forbidden Orchard for white and Rockfall Vale. Ben, you may have another spirit.
Aw,
Here you go.
awesome.
And I'm going to cast the Aerial Extortionist. Now this, when it enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, I exile 1 target non-land permanent. For as long as it's exiled, you may cast it. So it's not like it keeps it. You can cast it again whenever you want to. It's just kind of like bouncing it. But whenever a player casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, I draw a card. I'm gonna exile Ben's Mana Reflection because I'm scared of it.
It goes to exile, I can cast it.
You can cast it again, and then you'll get your double mana again. I'm just taking a chunk out of it, that's all. This was cast from exile, so I'm going to put another counter on Rocco, and I'm going to make another food, my 4th food. I'm going to play my Cinderglade from exile. This will make another food and put another counter on Rocco. And this only draws me a card when another player casts a spell, so I don't get it from my own stuff. All right, these are going to stay in exile until the end of my next turn. Let's go to combat. And Ben, you're not going to attack me.
No, of course not.
So Gina, I'm attacking you for 6 commander with Rocco.
Okay, I will take 6.
All right, move to my end step. If you had a card exiled by Rocco, it's now permanently exiled. Let's exile a new one. I have Nature's Lore.
Island.
I have an Angel of Jubilation.
Mountain.
All right, Ben, for what could be your last hurrah, your turn.
Untapping. Play a land, the island from exile.
Sweet. I'm going to put a counter on the Aerial Extortionist and also get a 6th food.
Tapping 6. 4 mana reflection.
Oh, from exile. So I'll draw a card from the Extortionist. I'll put another counter on the Extortionist, and I'll go up to 7 food.
You can't say I didn't help you.
Ben, I'm starting to like you.
Yeah, it's starting to. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I don't know if you'll like me after this, though.
Shit.
So we're going to tap the Llanowar Elves for 2, and the Hinterland Harbor for 2, and I'm going to Whelming Wave.
Oh!
Return all creatures to their owner's hands except for Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents.
I am going to cast something. I'm going to cast Swift Reconfiguration. This is a flash aura. I'm going to enchant my Aerial Extortionist, which turns it into a vehicle. So it will be out here as a Crew 5 vehicle that still keeps its abilities.
But isn't a creature.
But isn't a creature.
Oh, wow, okay.
But that's what I got.
Okay.
So all non-Kraken, Serpent, Leviathan,
Octopuses.
Octopi go to hand.
Which I think means my mirror entity stays, right?
Yes, your mirror entity does stay. Yeah, that's right.
I'll cast a Llanowar Elves, floating a green mana. Can't attack with the Llanowar Elves, Gina. I'm sorry. But the Rixmithies coming at Shea for 12/12.
Okay. I think blocking 12 damage sounds like a good idea, so I'm gonna block with the mirror entity.
I think that's a good block. That's a good block.
Pretty good.
Okay, and it will be super, super dead.
It's your turn, Shea.
Okay. All right, we are gonna begin by paying 3 for a Starnheim Aspirant. 2/2.
Aspirant?
Aspirant.
Yeah, Aspirant.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, CGB. Okay, angel spells cost 2 less. Amazing. That means I can pay 3 for my Angel of Jubilation, which came from the exile. So it's a 3/3 flying. Other non-black creatures you control get +1/+1. Players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate abilities.
Interesting. Okay. That'll be an interesting one to try to remember. So I do draw a card from the Aerial Extortionist because it's still on the field as a vehicle.
Yes. Great. Then I will pay 2 for Sigarda. Well, I'm gonna pass to you, Gina.
All right, I will untap. I'm gonna play this mountain from exile. CGB, you have some triggers?
Nope. My commander's in my hand.
That's so sad. I'm sorry for you.
Way to rub it in.
All right, so I'm going to tap 3 to play my commander again. Hello, Sarkhan. And then I'm going to tap 6 more to bring in a new friend. That's gonna be Thembershad. He's a big baby. He's a little heavy, and he can only fly if he exerts himself. But when he enters the battlefield, he does X damage to each other creature without flying, and each player.
No,
where
player.
X is the number of mountains you control.
No.
And I have 3.
No.
Wait, so it's going to do 3 damage to each
Each non-flying creature.
and each player.
No.
No? Ben,
No.
do something.
I know.
Your life demands it, Ben. You have to do
Could
something.
someone swords a creature I have? Probably be the Rixmithies. No.
I don't have it
I
anymore,
will help
Ben.
that person if they do that.
I believe you. I can't.
I mean, I could get rid of one of your creatures, but that doesn't help me.
Wow, savage.
She's a monster.
Wow, okay. Okay, Gina. In your savagery, I will tap this tropical island for 2 blue, floating in blue, and I'll rapidly hybridize your Sarkhan.
Yeah! Woo! Good job, Ben.
Yeah,
you make a stand, buddy.
Before I die.
You stand up for yourself. Well, the cool thing about it is the 3 damage is actually going to kill the frog lizard.
Nice. There you go. There's your frog lizard.
I'll just look at it lovingly for a few seconds
thanks.
and then wave goodbye.
All right. You guys feel that?
Thank you for that.
You guys feel that? The ground is shaking.
Oh, God.
All right, I will take 3 damage.
Me too.
I'll take 3 damage and die.
Oh, Ben.
Sayonara, Ben.
She lets you live, but never for long.
Yeah.
And my Starheim aspirant will die. Go to the graveyard.
And since I'm also a player, I will also take 3. And with that, I will pass the turn.
All right, I'll untap my lands, and we'll tick to Chapter 2 on Showdown of the Scald. So whenever I cast a spell, I may put a +1/+1 counter on a creature I control. Here we go again. Why not? Let's cast Rocco. No creature to put a +1/+1 counter on when I cast Rocco, but now you're on the battlefield. I will play a Plains from Exile. I will put a +1/+1 counter on Rocco and make a food. Up to 8 food. I will cast Nature's Lore from Exile. This will put a +1/+1 counter on Rocco from the Showdown of the Scalds, and then another one and from casting from Exile, and I'll make another food, and I'll search for a forest. All right, the forest I got is a basic because I have some cards in my deck that might want basics. I will tap 5, including the Soul Ring up here, and I will cast Escape to the Wilds from Exile. So that's going to put a +1/+1 counter on Rocco from Showdown of the Scalds, and another +1/+1 counter and a food token, up to 10. I will exile the top 5 cards of my library. I may play cards exiled this way until the end of my next turn. I may play an additional land this turn. 1, Path of Ancestry, Temple Garden, Plateau,
come on.
Sword
Okay,
of Forge and Frontier, and Reckless Fireweaver. All right, I'm going to play the Plateau from Exile because I can play an additional land this turn, putting another counter on Rocco up to 8 power and up to 11 food. I'm going to cast Bloom Tender from my hand, which you knew about because it was bounced before. Put another counter on Rocco from the Showdown of the Scalds. He's getting strong. So these will stay in exile until the end of my next turn, and I can cast them then. And we'll move to my end step, which is Rocco time. So the 3 of us will exile our top card. I got Nettle Cyst.
I got Breathkeeper Seraph.
Atsushi the Blazing Sky.
All right, we have until the end of my next turn to cast those. Proceed, Shea.
Okay. Untap. I will pay 6 for Breathkeeper Seraph. Has flying and soul bond, and it's a 4/4.
Did you cast that from exile?
Sure did.
Okay, cool. I will draw a card for the Extortionist, and we will have some Rocco food. I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on my Bloom Tender and make a 12th food.
Excellent. And so I would like to pair it with Sigarda. I will move to combat, and I am gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm gonna send Sigarda and my Angel of Jubilation to Cheetah.
Ooh.
So that will be 7 total, if no blocks.
I will take 7.
Okay. And actually, I'm just now realizing that Sigarda gets a buff from my Angel of Jubilation, so it does get 1 more added to its power. It gets 1/1 added.
Okay, I'll take 1 more.
Perfect. All right, move into my end step. Gonna discard Aura Shards.
Oh.
Whoa.
I know.
I'm leaving up 3 mana?
Yeah.
Sus.
And then pass to you, Gina.
Untap. All right, I'm going to tap 5 to bring back my commander, Sarkhan. And then I'm going to tap the rest to bring in his twin, Sarkhan the Masterless.
Whoa.
Thriving.
Whenever a creature attacks me or a planeswalker I control, each dragon I control does 1 damage to that creature.
Ooh.
I'm going to create a 4/4 dragon creature token with his ability. And here's my dragon token. And since none of them have haste, we're just gonna sit and pass.
Hey, honey, I will, I'm sorry, Covertgoblue Gina. If I give you a 1/1 spirit, will you not attack me with it?
With the 1/1 spirit?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah. You can do whatever you want except attack me with it.
Sure.
All right, then on end step, I will make a white mana and give you a colorless spirit. And I'll use that white mana to cast Enlightened Tutor. I'm gonna search my library for an artifact or enchantment, and it goes on top. All right, the card I searched for is Kark Clan Ironworks. Ooh. All right, I'll untap all this fun stuff. Draw for turn. The Chapter 3 of Showdown of the Skalds will trigger. So Showdown's going to go to the graveyard, but I still get the effect of a +1/+1 counter with every spell I cast till the end of this turn. All right, from exile, I will cast Reckless Fireweaver. This says that whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under my control, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. For casting it, I will get a +1/+1 counter that I'm going to put on Rocco. And I'm going to make a food token, but the Reckless Fireweaver isn't out yet, so this isn't going to deal any damage to you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cast Doubling Season. So whenever I play a +1/+1 counter, I'll get 2 of them, and whenever I make a token, I'll make 2 of them. This is from my hand, so it's not going to do anything other than add 1 +1/+1 counter right now, which will go on the Reckless Fireweaver. I will shotgun in a Temple Garden, which is paying 2 life. All right, that is from exile. So that will make 2 food tokens and put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature I control.
Hello.
Ugh.
I'm going to target the Reckless Fireweaver, and I'm going to go up to 15 foods, and this will deal 2 damage to both of you.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
All right, tap these 4. Let's cast the Kark Clan Ironworks. It's a spell, so Showdown of the Skalds will put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature. I will target Rocco. And if this enters the battlefield, it's an artifact, so you will both take 1 damage.
Pew.
All right, I will sacrifice a food token for 2 colorless mana. I'll keep track of some colorless mana over here. I'll sacrifice another food token for 2 colorless mana. I'll use 3 of the 4 to cast the Nettle Cyst from exile. This will put a +2 +1/+1 counters on Reckless Fireweaver for Showdown of the Skalds, and 2 +1/+1 counters on Rocco for casting a spell from exile. This will also create 2 foods because of Doubling Season, so each of you take 2. Right, the Nettle Cyst entering the battlefield makes a germ token, and it's also an artifact that entered the battlefield, so each of you will take another 1. We'll add up Nettle Cyst when it attacks or something, because it's going to be a lot. I will sacrifice a food going up to 3 colorless mana, then I will use that mana to cast the Sword of Forge and Frontier, which gives protection from red and green and other cool abilities. This is cast from exile, so 2 +1/+1 counters on the Phyrexian Germ. Then we'll also do 2 +1/+1 counters because of Showdown of the Skalds on Rocco, going to 14. And we will make 2 foods, which means 2 more damage to each of you. And then if the sword itself enters the battlefield, that's another 1 damage from the Fireweaver.
Mm-hmm.
Life total's falling. I'll tap Reckless Fireweaver to crew the Aerial Extortionist back into being a creature. I will sacrifice a food token for 2 colorless mana. With Kark Clan, I will use that to equip the Sword of Forge and Frontier to the Aerial Extortionist. If this equips, it will have protection from red and green. I will sacrifice 2 more food tokens for mana. So I'll have 4 colorless mana in the mana pool. I'll spend 3 of it to equip the Nettle Cyst to the Aerial Extortionist. This will make it huge. So it was 8. Now it will get +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment I control. So it's a lethal threat to both of you. The number is arbitrarily large. I'll tap Exotic Orchard for green and use the colorless mana in my mana pool to play the Serenth Steel Seeker. And because of Showdown of the Scalds and Doubling Season, I'll put 2 +1/+1 counters on Rocco. I will move to combat, and I will attack Shea with an 18-powered Rocco, and I will attack Gina with a very large flying protection from red and green Nettle-assisted Aerial Extortionist.
So my block is going to be with the Breathkeeper Seraph.
The Sarkhan also triggers to deal, your 2 dragons try to deal damage to the Extortionist, but it has protection from red, so it doesn't take that damage. All right, anything for you, Gina?
Well, I do not have a way to block, and I only have 1 mana, and the card I want to play takes 2. So I'm sunk. My dragons are coming down from the skies.
Sorry, Khaleesi. I struck you with a giant red bird. So when this hits a player, I exile the top 2 cards of my library, and I may play them this turn. I may also play an additional land this turn. So I'm going to exile 3 visits, and I'm going to exile Stoneforge Mystic. All right, I will sacrifice a food token for 2 colorless. I will use 1 of that, and I will tap this for green, and I will cast 3 visits from exile. This will search my library for a forest, put it onto the battlefield. Because of Showdown, I'm going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on the Germ. Because of Rocco, I'm going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on the Seeker. And I'm going to create 2 food tokens because of Doubling Season. And that means 2 damage to Shea from the Reckless Fireweaver.
In response to the Reckless Fireweaver triggers, I am going to pay 3 for a Teferi's Protection.
Had enough of me, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that resolves. You're gone. So the Fireweaver triggers will no longer damage you, but I do have the Steel Seeker triggers from artifacts entering the battlefield. So I look at my top card. If it's a land, I can reveal it, or I can bin it. I'm going to shuffle it away anyway. I'm just going to leave. I guess I'll bin it. And then I have another one because it made 2 foods. And this is a land, so I'll reveal it, put it into my hand. It's a Clifftop Retreat. And let's resolve the 3 visits. All right, I got a Savannah. We'll put that onto the battlefield. I do have to play the Stoneforge Mystic this turn, so I'll tap the Savannah and use the colorless floating to cast Stoneforge Mystic from exile, which we're going to put 2 counters on the Steel Seeker. We're going to put 2 counters on the Germ, and we're going to make 2 more foods, which is going to trigger the Steel Seeker 2 more times. The Fireweaver is not going to damage anyone because you're not here. Yeah. And I'm going to reveal an Urza Saga that goes to my hand. And I'm going to reveal a Mountain that goes to my hand. Then I am going to search my library for an equipment with Stoneforge Mystic. All right, I have searched for Shadow Spear, which I'll put into my hand. I think that'll go nicely against your commander.
I don't like it.
I will move to my end step, and I have Rocco, and I know you're not like here, but for some stupid rules reason, you still get to exile a card from Rocco here. So if you had a previous Rocco card, it stays exiled, and I will exile an Incubation Druid.
I will exile a Sunblast Angel.
What? Great. I will discard 2 cards to hand size. They're both lands. Go ahead, Shea.
Cool. I'm back.
Oh, by the way, at my end step, the Aerial Extortionist is no longer a creature because it was a vehicle. So these equipments are going to fall off. So they're just hanging out now.
Okay.
They're not attached to any of my stuff. They'll hang out with Ben.
Yeah.
They'll hang out with Ben.
I like equipment.
It's fine. This is fine.
All right, I'm untapping. On my upkeep, my Breathkeeper Seraph enters.
Okay, and it can soul bond with a creature. Do you want to pick one?
I'm going to choose Sigarda.
Okay. The Teferi's Protection in your graveyard is exiled because it says to do that on the card.
You are correct. Cool. Let's do it.
No!
So...
Don't do it. What are you doing?
I'm doing things.
Don't do it.
I'm doing things.
Don't
Okay.
do it, Shea.
We'll start with paying 4 for a cheeky little Triumph of the Horde.
No. No. Not like this.
And then you're really gonna love this. I'm also gonna pay 4 for an Achroma's Will.
Wow. Oh, man.
And because I control my commander, I can choose both. Then I would like to move to combat. And I am going to attack you, CGB, with Sigarda and my Angel of Jubilation. And this is for, oh, they have Vigilance, so I won't tap them.
No, you wouldn't want to do that.
Double Strike, Lifelink, Indestructible, Protection from all colors, +1/+1, Trample, Flying. And Infect, of course, how could I forget?
According to my calculations, CGB, that is 18 Infect in the air.
Ben coming through with the math.
I believe 18 is more than 10.
Feels like
Check
it.
me.
I mean, that works out for me.
You were so close.
Yeah, I mean, you got me.
Whoa.
7-card hand can't do nothing.
Oh, man.
I can gain 24 life. It doesn't matter. It's Infect. It doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
You got me, Shea.
Wow.
GG's.
GG's. Ah. All right, guys.
Trashed.
Kaput.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, congratulations, Shea. Look at you coming from behind again.
Well, you know.
She was really the group hug, and she really hugged you hard, but then she really stabbed you.
it's not group hug.
So yeah, we're gonna figure out our Cool Stuff Inc. card of the game. And we're back with our Cool Stuff Inc. card of the game. Don't forget, you can use the promo code WORST at checkout and get 5% off. So the card I chose for this game was Thundershone. My little chonky boy. He came and he sat on the battlefield. He never flew. And he surprised Ben with a kill.
With lethal damage.
Oopsie-daisy.
Just like unintentionally, too. It's like, oh, and 3 damage to all the players. I'm like, no.
CGB, what was your card of the game?
Yeah, still hurting over here, still sore, but I'll give it to the card that I used to knock out a player that may have been my wife, honey. Last time I'll mention it, I promise. But Nettle Cyst, this made my attacker very, very enormous and was able to swing for a ton of damage, and surely given another round of the table would have taken Shea out as well had I had the opportunity.
But I was more terrifying. He fears me.
I respect you. I respect both of you, but I definitely
Cannot let me live.
Totally respect you. Didn't enjoy it at all. All right, Ben, what is your card of the game?
Well, I had a slumbering dude, too. He had some slumber counters on him. It was a Rixamathes. That Seedborn Muse just let him tap for double, and he was just kind of sitting there. He was a land when both bounces happened, I believe. Well, the second one just because he was a crack.
Dodge's Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah. I was super excited about that. I'm like, sweet.
And then you got attacked for it.
Yes, I did. Yeah. And
died.
All right, our great winner, Shea. What was your card of the game? Or cards?
Oh yes, I have 2 cards for my cards of the game, Triumph of the Hordes and Achroma's Will. And, you know, it's just great to, I don't know, kill CGB, especially when he's like, I got this in the bag. I could tell you were really confident over there, and your board was full, so I was afraid. But these cards allowed me to be less afraid.
I gotta say, I enjoyed it.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, and who knows, CGB, maybe these will go up on the wall, put them up in the game store.
Gonna frame those, put those in the game store as the CGB killers.
Yes.
CGB had 900 permanents, 1,000,000 power, and the ability to gain 24 life at instant speed, and took 18 infect. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Well, congratulations, Shea. Victory very well deserved. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And you're cool.